Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel, and in this one we have Jungle BLITZCRANK. What have Riot done now? Attack speed, up. Attack speed growth, up. They have boosted the W attack speed benefit hugely. They've also added bonus damage to monsters. They've added AP ratios to the E and increased damage to monsters. They've also increased the AP ratios on his ultimate. Let's see how this works, because it's absolutely ridiculous. I've never seen a new jungler, sort of put in that position by Riot, get taken up so quickly in terms of match history games on the first day of the patch since maybe Talon, when they actually directly supported that abomination over a year ago. Now, though, yes, this is not going to become some sort of OP meta decision, but it will be something interesting. It will be something that you can pull off, and I wish I could come to you with a logical, coherent, and definitive build. I cannot. There are people trying to boost the AD ratios on that E. There are people trying to go full tank. There are people trying to straight up go AP. But the better variation I've seen is a sort of chem tank plus a Nash's Tooth into tank with some Demonics Embrace variation. So we're going to look at one of those games in this one. You would have seen the runes on your screen. Conqueror. Yes, you can go Hell of Blades. Fleet Footwork is looking a bit more interesting. Don't go Predator. There's no need to go Predator, especially if you're going to max that W like we will in this game. However, the better win rates are looking like an EQ max and then not ignoring the W because there's no cooldown benefit to maxing that ability. You obviously just get straight attack speed and movement speed, which is very, very nice. Wow, what a mouthful. I needed a big breath after that one. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy, and I cannot believe we're in an off-meta patch where Riot have kind of said, hey, let's try some stuff. And you know what? What's brilliant about this is while you have the bonus damage to monsters, obviously where you have the WE here, that I didn't even mention the W. You now have that 1% target max HP per attack, right? So that's even better for fisting enemy champions. We have the ward here on the Z, so we can see a red side into this. What you can do here, and why this is brilliant, is with the changes that they did, effectively you're looking at something that there's no definitive way to build it, right? I mean, you can play it like a support, you can build it like a support, but why? When we can do things like the Hex Flash and some more DPS-focused build, there's a lot of AP ratios. I did see a Fimbulwinter to build, obviously to work on that passive here. That's really, really useful for that shield. But really, absolutely wild stuff I'm seeing. I couldn't figure out which one to pick that was like the best. I felt like this one was the best one because it's so damn creative. The guy here is very, very creative. We're unlucky here to not kill him. We should have killed him. We didn't kill him, but we do get the flash, and he moves out. And we're going to have a little bit of a fiesta here. We're going to make sure we get that Grump that's most important. Syndra's moving up, Thresh is moving up, Ryze is moved up. Kallista's here, we're going to lose the Bard. The BLITZCRANK is currently zoning a little bit. We are getting chunked, we do have double buffs, we have another hook, we hit that hook. We do have a knockup we could use, but we fall. We'll get an assist, and Kallista should be able to pick herself up. Oh, Zed, that's not where you want to be, buddy. Triple kill. Okay? So, hey, where's the announcer? Excuse me, there we go. She's activated again. Right. Where was I? Crazy rule bending and cool power thing. Yes. This game, that phase, not particularly something you're going to necessarily want to replicate. If you have prior, sure, go ahead. But the buff grump into ganking, love it. The buff grump into cheese invades like that, love it. You can definitely do some really unique things with the bonus monster magic damage. And of course, the attack speed ratio and attack speed increase, plus the huge attack speed, 92% attack speed on that W now. When you max rank it. A lot of cool things. Remember, with attack speed, you have the benefit of going AD, which means every attack gets more, it's more powerful. And then obviously with the AP, yeah, you get that on hit on your ultimate, but you also get the AP scaling benefit from the Nash's too. So you are looking for ganks here though. Right, we're going to hook there. We got the auto attack. We can keep auto attacking. Remember, the W gives a lot of auto attacks. The W for a knockup. Make sure to chain your knockup with your hook in an intelligent way. You'll see exactly what I mean a little bit later. There's high cooldowns though. Very high cooldowns, especially when that W is gone. You're kind of Bing chilling. You're going to make sure you get that knockup there for disengage. That's about 8 seconds. This is going to be a prototypical stud. It's got to be aggressive, roaming support style. You have the ability to clear camps in the Season 13 jungle. You will have even a better time because it's so healthy. Anyone can clear the jungle. I love that. It's like Season 4 remnants. Yeah, really, just so much to talk about. However, just for the early phase, look for your buff grump, look for your flexi clear, your red raptors grump if you can try and do that. It will be a bit more tough. Try and get ganks, try and get cheese invades, all the good stuff that frustrates people. When you need to fall back here, obviously, we can do our grump and wolves, absolutely no problem. The Hex Flash and the ganking angles and the stuff you're going to see from this point onward is very interesting and creative, and I liked it. That's why I loved using this game as opposed to a more standard jungler game. Someone who sort of understood, hey, look, just because they can jungle BLITZCRANK doesn't mean I need to jungle BLITZCRANK. Just because you're playing Ivern doesn't mean you're jungling. when you play Blitzcrank, you're playing Blitzcrank, right? A Blitzcrank jungle is different than every other jungle because watch this. We have Hex Flash, we have Q, and we have E. We have a lot of CC. Here we go. Guys standing still. Over the wall. Use your movement speed. Hit the knockup. Hit the hook. And now you've got the percentage max HP plus the attack speed boost going through because he's going to max W, as I said. Nice gank, right? Really, really nice. So what you want to do is use the Hex Flash and look for these moments. Look for these windows of opportunity, as it were. Now, what we're going to do here is we do have the early Dark Seal. You want to go early Dark Seal. Okay. And you want to then go for your Chem Tag. You can go Frostfire as well. Will be even better when we have Iceborne Gauntlet return in Season 13. And then, of course, we slap into the Nash's Tooth second. And then I would advise going more tanky. And now just thinking out loud, or in loud, I guess, in my brain, when we have the mana item in Abyssal Mask, the Catalyst, the Aeon's Catalyst going back into the Abyssal Mask, and we have mana in a Magic Resist item, which is just one of the biggest oversights of all time. Yeah, woo, Frozen Heart, Abyssal Mask, Jungle Blitzcrank. You see where I'm going with this? Exactly right. Now, straight up ganking procedure here, wave pushing in, who cares? We are Blitzcrank. We're going to use our movement speed on the W, move back in. We're going to use our E to knock up, hook the guy trying to escape and say no. And now you can swap over to the Syndra, make sure you get the cutoff. We'll have E up again very soon. Let's yoink that, shall we? Little cheeky order. Think we deserve a kill. Good job, bot. And now we can help push this wave. See, the bot is a pun. You get it? You get it right. I'm a dad now, I'm going to make the jokes. Deal with it. Right, this is easy to obviously snack in terms of your shield shredding. No shield on the Scuttle Crab in Season 13. Also, no tick damage on your jungle item. The little pet will do the damage. Maybe I'll make a cohesive sort of thing for that when Season 13 arrives based upon the numbers, because so much is going to change. Now, really, really good use of ganking angles and procedures. What can we do now if we suspect the Zed is potentially vertical jungling us and counter jungling us, which I think we should at this stage. I think it's pretty obvious the dude's going to be doing this and rotating, Rise moving on up, which means it's fine for us, right? You don't want to really go fist specific junglers. We can instead trap. Now, the Grump is being yoinked. We're going to just flash over the wall, hit that E, obviously your W's, your movement speed, gap close, keep autoing, using that W percentage max HP damage that now comes through, and then save your hook for the finale, or you just alter. Because you don't have a hook, sorry. We already used it. Let's just ult. My bad. My bad. But the ult is a nice shield. I mean, it's a shield shredder too. I think people forget that. Their shields are destroyed. That's so big in an Enchanter meta too, right? And if Blitzcrank is struggling for you in lane, maybe you're just a terrible laner, but you love the crank. You know, it's time to get cranked. Then jungle. We could cheese again here, I think, but I think it's good to kind of do we are going to, but in nice. Oh, look, here we go. Hello? Although at this point it's probably warded. Well, that sucks. That's fine. We did not get a full look at the solo dragons and stuff. I can't imagine it's that good, but if Maokai can do it at level 4 and almost, die, but do it, I'm sure Blitzcrank has some success. Here we go. We see a fight in the mid lane. Bard ult comes through. We have the Thresh running away. The Zed has shown up here. We're going to hit that E there. We're going to make sure we save our hook for after the flash or the mobility used, because that's what we want to do. There we go. We have the Thresh. We probably should have saved our smite, moved on up a little bit, and try to use that AoE and the ult plus the smite to kill the Thresh as well. I feel like that's what we should have done, but those micro mechanics will come in time and with practice. I do advise a more conservative build path like this. All right, I do recommend Dark Seal, Bombies, tank item, Nash's Tooth, full tank. I feel like that's a really good way for you to test the limits, understand the AP ratios and how they feel like on most of his kit. And then if you kind of feel like, all right, look, the attack speed boost on that W is so nice, I want to max it, Blade of the Rune King, Trinity Force, try that then as well. But you could also go Frostfire Demonics Nashers, the Volibear construct. That could be interesting. There's so many things, man. There's so many things. I could not recite everything I saw. I could not tell you. I mean, I have a good memory too, and I just looked at everything, all the games, went to the data, Yudo GG, just like everything. They were Gale Force games, you know what I mean? Really insane amounts of data and randomness from this. It's going to be really interesting to see what it's like in a couple weeks. Once a streamlined build has come through. But I do think there's a specific niche viability of this champion in the jungle now with these bonus damage to monsters on the W and E, plus the utility of the champion, right? The utility of the champion is huge here. So we're going to go ahead and take our red. We're level 7. The Zed will be ahead. The Zed will be ahead. That is something you're going to have to reconcile with your inner brain and works. when the dude gets free kills opposite side, when the dude's up 30 CS and counter jungling you, that's gonna happen. Like with any ganking jungler, you're not suddenly gonna become a turbo farmer. To that end, you could go Tiamat, the legendary Tiamat. Wait, we're gonna do this one here. Hello. Hex Flash is such a cool ability in the jungle. I love it when it's used. See, the thing about maxing Q, you definitely want the Q at least second, because that cooldown is nutty. And even though it still doesn't really scale, you know, that much, you know, having it up as much as possible is crucial. But lovely Hex Flash into the hook, and now we use the E afterwards, obviously, for those big zaps. And remember, in the patch notes, they also uncapped the stacks on his ult while it's available. So when you have this available here, it says they mark those attacked, and after 1 second, they're shocked for 69 scaling with AP damage. That used to be capped at 3. That's now uncapped. Obviously, the ability has to be available, so currently it's not up. But when it is, and I like ultimate passes. What do you guys think? I like ultimate passes. Like Pantheon. Dude was reworked, and then he was trash, and they decided, hey, why don't we add some armor penetration passive to his ultimate? So you kind of use it early, but later on it helps him scale. Cool. Nice. Swish, you know? So those kind of things, I think, are dynamic. Having passives on abilities that you may max last, or you max second or third, makes it interesting, right? It makes the ability more dynamic. It's not just an active button. It's got 2 phases to it. I think those things are really cool. You know, you don't have to think about it too much in terms of use, but it definitely gives you a lot of dynamic behavior in terms of how you play the champion. So we're going to the top lane here. Oh, Queen's applause. Excuse me, King's applause. Yes, yes, yes. That's the kind of stuff I want to see. Misdirected intent. You knock up another person, and you can Q in any random direction. You E them up, and if they're guaranteed dead, why use your hook on someone who's guaranteed dead? Use it on someone who's escaping. Bring them back. And that elongated range they gave to that hook. Why is this champion still in games? Okay, I know they nerfed the clip, so I actually have to look at the win rate data, but it wouldn't affect it. More AD, right? It's more AD, so the lethality sucks, you know, -6, but there's more AD to it. Don't think it's going to do what they think it's going to do. I think people are still going to build it. It's going to affect junglers a little bit more. See that? The attack speed really, it looks kind of funky now. We put 3 actually into the W, and now we're maxing the Q. Actually, important to note there. This game, he's 3 times W, max the Q, because that's the utility that we have. But look at this. I mean, this is already 66, and he's executing the order onto the monsters, as it were. Now, we have this Herald here. I would like for us to do this. The jungling is a little lacking here. Definitely cheese facet, but we got bot lane fed. We ganked mid lane, we ganked top lane. The ganks, right? We talk about this. Farming, risk versus reward with ganking, right? However, if your gank can be so damn reliable because you have a hook like this, you have Hex Flash, you have the knockup, you have the speed up, the attack speed, the bonus damage. That's, you know, you use your W, you're slowed afterwards, right? So remember, you get to juice yourself, but as with all things juiced, there's a bit of fatigue at the end, so you have to slow down. So just remember that aspect of that kit, of the W. But yeah, the ganks are so damn reliable, there's really not much to worry about, you know, when you're being outfarmed. Here we go. A fight. And we smite. Make sure we get that E, then we can, of course, use our hook. Oh, that's not, I mean, is that? Yes, yes. Yes, that's what we want to do. Nice damage on the ultimate there. We can sprint away. And LeBlanc shows up. That's not Syndra. Syndra's on the enemy team. The W for escapes is nice too, in and out. Halo Blades is seemingly good for your early trades and stuff, but the Conqueror there, let's have a look at the Conqueror actually. I'm kind of curious, because the runes are what's dynamic. I mean, Phase Rush could work. You could see Phase Rush working for a squishy build. We're 210 healing. I mean, the attack speed, the coup, the triumph, you know, these all make sense. I think for those of you looking to clear a bit more, have a bit more reliability for your clear fleet would be better. It gives you sort of proc and fights as well. It gives you a lot more healing. Yeah, you're stacking the Conqueror and getting that benefit of Conqueror plus bonus ratios. Oh. Assist. There you go. So you can now 1v1 a Zed with recurve bow, 10 dark seal stacks, and a chem tank. That's what you wanted to see, right? Off-meta jungler battle 1v1. Syndra shows up. We are going to do a dragon. So here you go. You have an example of the dragon. That was actually moving fine. The enemy team showing up kind of sucks, but that was moving okay. At this stage, I think anyone should be able to handle it. It just takes a long time since the dragon buffs, but I like what I'm seeing in terms of creativity. Now, interestingly, I'd rather see this my team than an Elise. Who was with me? Why would I want to see an Elise? I can easily just build Nash's Tooth and have Demonics and go a lot of AP damage here, be tanky, but also I know the dude can chain CC all by himself. Like if I'm a CC-less lane, then I want a Blitzcrank showing up because he has all the CC in the world. You know, the silence and the ult is, oh, the slow is painful though. I feel this. I feel that slow. Team. Whee. And good. Oh. Zed is one of those OP junglers no one knows how to play. I should probably make that video for the main channel because, you know, when you see people smurfing with it, you're like, is good. And, well, another hook. When you see someone smurfing with a champion, like, damn, it's good. And then you try it and you just fall flat in your face, you know, like a dodo. And it's actually pretty strong when played right. Like Blitzcrank, it can be strong when played right. We're 918, ladies and gentlemen, out of 23 kills. That's 17 out of 23 kills for those of you who can't do basic arithmetic. Well, remember, when you're fed and your team is fed and your team gets a little happy and jumpy, they will go forward and die. Make sure you control the objectives that you can control in those moments, because as soon as you stop controlling those objectives and you give them away to teams with bounties, you lose the game. This is why it's so important to be able to maybe, I would have loved to see 2 dragons here plus first herald, just a little bit more control there, but again, the issue is here, make sure the enemy jungler who's farming or in counter jungling and ganking, yeah, he can do his thing, and yeah, you'll be down 25 CS, but it doesn't matter if you're 918, have a dragon, have a herald, and you've ganked every lane multiple times. This W now, it looks funny. This skin's a bit weird though. I like it, but it's a bit weird. You know what I mean? He has so many good skins though. And now we want to move into the jungle, but I kind of want to try it just so I can try all the skins, because there's a lot of good skins. Not used to my champions getting skins. Riot apparently just hates Ornn, so nothing I can do about that. Right, moving on into the top side of the jungle here to look for picks and traps. That's exactly what you want to do. You are just Blitzcrank now, but you're significantly more fed than you would be if you were playing support. You have a lot more gold than you would ever dream of having, so most Blitzcranks who play Blitzcrank are going to be a little bit surprised that you can keep building like this. The GP ult still disgusting as always. What a champion. We're going to go in here because we can, and then we just run away. We also have Chem Tank as well, plus the W for a lot of movement speed. We have Blue Smite as well. Are you sure you want to take this? Come on, take the fight. Oh, you see this? Unlucky. There we go. Oh, well, Thresh does that. Buff Thresh. Not always so fun. Not always so fun. Right, now the Aatrox is going to hold the mid lane. What can we do now? What are we going into now? So we have the, okay, here we go. The Nash's Tooth is now complete. The Chem Tank is done. We lost our stacks on the Dark Seal. There's no chems up on the side of the map, but there will be a El Baron spawning. Grump is spawning itself as well. We have no chems, which means there's no reason to sulk about it. Move on up, get into the jungle again, look for a nice hook. Let's see how that W works now with the Nash's Tooth plus the attack speed and all the AP ratios on his E and ultimate. Let's have a look. And obviously the Q, I mean, 428 damage on the Q. Oh man, if you can hit this on a squishy, they're not going to be having fun, I can tell you that much. And obviously the ultimate, you know, we didn't mention it, that's on hit damage, right? So you have the on hit Nash's Tooth plus the on hit synergy from the from the ultimate passive. Okay, LeBlanc has died, so we're actually throwing a little bit. And as terrible as Rise can be, even though he just received some buffs, you know, Zed, Rise, GP, Syndra, Thresh, it's a difficult team to fight when you're a bit more of an unconventional comp. The difficulty with unconventional comps, right, is understanding how you can play around a more conventional comp. What advantages do you have over one, and how can you mind game them? In this case, you just kill the junglers out of position because you have a Giga Silence plus a Giga CC. Chase them. Chase them. How is Aatrox still in the game? I know I said that already, but whenever Aatrox is against me, and I'm like, the top lane is now down 3 levels, and I've even impacted that lane, why did you let it through if you hate it so much? If you can't at least go equal with it on weak side, don't leave it open. Just ban it. I fail to see how people are just letting Aatrox go through and then blame the jungler when they lose to it. You can't handle it, ban it. It's as simple as that. I mean, the Blitzcrank, the Gangplank has done a good job here. Planks and cranks everywhere. Right, we do have a Callista here, so we can go for this. This is a really nice change. That's Smite in Season 13 going up to 1200. I hate that a Lux and a Callista can can out-damage a smite. You know, like, my whole job is to make sure I can secure this, and it just coin flips when they have an uneven advantage. On that note, we do have the Rise ultimate to the backline here. Let's turn on the Thresh. Always turn on the person who's disconnected, and then you can focus on the rest of the team here. Kalista's chasing down. The Bard goes ulting in. Zed's in the back line there. What's up BLITZCRANK doing? He's just zoning at the back because he's low HP. Aatrox gets squished. Remember, you must live for this Baron to be worth something. Let's have a look. Boof. Hook. Donk. Bonus damage 161 because things. I like that. It's good that we can track that. Enhanced damage dealt to champions is good. I want to see that on hit bonus damage dealt by the end of the game. Right. 29 to 18. Game is now significantly closer than it has been because of a few throws and gangplank things that are happening, but we do get a Baron. Now we're going to be... You will become more utility based. You have a lot of damage in CC, but you will become a little bit more utility based as the game goes on. Remember, the one hook that you hit that wins you the game from pick perspective, that's the one that matters. So even if you're missing hooks like Nidalee Spears, it doesn't matter. High elo players will dodge and predict, just like that's why Nidalee Spears miss in high elo, because you can dodge and predict, and they're not all that easy to hit overall, really. And BLITZCRANK hooks are significantly easier to hit, of course, but don't be worried. Just try and hit that one crucial hook. You saw him looking for hooks the whole time. Here, of course, we can use our W as well. Zed splitting on the top lane here, getting some of his own farm. But you want to use that Baron to get an inhibitor? No. That one was a bit more of a dreaming hook. That was never going to hit. What do we have here now? We're going to go for the Force of Nature. Double AD AP is always difficult to play against. I think Force of Nature plus Dead Mantle will be really good, actually. You know, you're sacrificing resistances, but the speed utility plus your mana shield could be huge. Be careful. I'm sure you're going to have a lot of BLITZCRANKs. Now, BLITZCRANKs are used to being lower econ, making that hook, getting that silence, getting that knock-up, making sure someone dies, right? I'm not sure a lot of BLITZCRANKs are going to understand how to play frontline tank in that respect, because they're not going to be used to the damage that they can output and the damage they can tank, basically, just from this build. And playing it so radically differently, junglers won't actually know. We're going to have a lot of people dying while they learn the limits. The limits. Okay, a little bit slow now. Come on, we can close this game out. Aatrox is not having a good time, is he? But that's okay, he's Aatrox, he doesn't deserve it. Ooh, close. Everfrost root. Thresh, you're out of position. We W to make sure we can speed up a little bit. The Bard is going to force the flash from the Thresh. LeBlanc is split pushing on the top side here. Kalista shows up on the bottom side. That's a dead Syndra dead. Gangplank, which means you want to push this out. I like that. Push it out, push it out, push it out. It's going to go into the base and then sync up with your top laner or the person split pushing on the top side. Crucially, you do that. Most people do not. Everyone just goes here while this sits here. Well, you're losing the pressure. Force up the pressure when you have numbers, and now you can collapse into this. The BLITZCRANK then can collapse and help this lane, but ideally we want to make sure we try and get at least this turret, because they're going to respawn. The death spawn timers are not that long or that high at this point in the game. Righto, we kind of want the turret. If we just went there, we would have got it. So I understand shadowing here a little bit, but hook, knock up. Do we have ult? I'm not even clicking on the right person. Yes, we do. Now we can use ult. 32-second cooldown. Gangplank kills Kalista. The Gangplank got completely zones. BLITZCRANK's going around the side. We didn't have Aatrox in that fight. We're low on mana. I think the Fimbulwinter build with Frozen Heart plus Abyssal Mask in Season 13 is going to be really good. And you can buy a different Mythic, and of course you can buy the Sunfire plus Chemtank in Isolation, right? Sunfire will have armor only. Chemtank will have magic resist only. There will be armor and magic resist specific itemizations, and they will not be Mythics. You can have a new Mythic with a lot of HP and mana, and then of course you can have the Sunfire and Chemtank as well. Hook! Now we do, the whole cheese of the BLITZCRANK, the AP BLITZCRANK, is now alive and well and actually works a lot. Let's have a look here, 289. So I don't think the damage is going to be that obscene. It just helps with the attack speed, the on-hit, the passive proc of the ultimate, plus the attack speed. As I said, the attack speed boost on your W means that if you have any sort of AP scalings for on-hit, the National Tooth works great. At the same time, if you want to build AD and utilize that attack speed to hit harder, that is a viable strategy as well. Dragon here. I don't know if you want to necessarily overstay and die for this. If you die for this, you're going to lose the Baron. You have to be very cautious here. We are waiting for the Bard. We have enough damage to almost kill the Gangplank. The Zed does get the bounty, but Kalista shows up from the other side, gets that kill. Oh, Brad gets the kill. Shoot through the magical portal. Here we go. Now we're just CC bot. Make sure your team does the damage. So you're not going to do as much damage as a straight up carry, obviously, but the utility of BLITZCRANK is still here. Knock up, hook, silence, percentage max HP damage on your W, auto attack as much as you can during the downtime of spells, and off we go. We are dead. We are dead. He died. But it is what it is. Death is okay for tanks. 10, 4, and 13. And the minions should finish off this inhibin. Your team can finish off the Nexus, and you died a worthy death. We have here 953 damage at the champions, 382 on the Nash's Tooth. You know, the damage is more so reliable on your spells necessarily than the auto attack passive, but it does exist. What if right done? Who knows? This will be refined over the next couple of patches. Keep an eye on the win rates of specific data as specific builds come out. There's a lot to try. Let me know what you think. What will you try on the champion? Thank you very much for watching. Please do like, share, and comment if you did enjoy and learn something. Don't forget, Zada GG guides are being fresh updated tomorrow. 30 to 40 junglers are going to be present, listed on that companion app very, very soon. So keep your eyes open for that. And as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial.